The sun peeks over the horizon, casting an orange glow across the savanna. The sky is filled with the songs of hundreds of birds. In the distance, a lion roars, announcing the start of a new day. It's about 8 a.m., and you are a prehistoric human living in a small village near a watering hole. What do you do today? Well, let's find out. You stretch and yawn, then jump out of your hammock. Unlike modern humans, there aren't any alarm clocks or smartphones to wake you up. Instead, you awaken when your body tells you it's time to get up. After all, you have a lot to do today, like gathering berries, building a shelter, and maybe even running away from a saber-toothed tiger. You walk over to the fire pit where your mom is already cooking breakfast for you and your family. There isn't any bacon and eggs on the menu, but you will eat some delicious cooked tubers that she pulled out of the ground yesterday. Breakfast is a quiet affair. You don't really have much to say to each other, but you share a knowing look with your little brother who sits next to you. He is just as hungry as you are. Your mother hands you both pieces of tuber, which you dig into right away. It takes only a few minutes to finish your plate. And soon enough, you and your brother are back to being silent observers of the morning. Your mom finishes eating, then goes to the works area of the village. It's time for you and your brother to take on your morning chores. Your sister has already finished hers, which means it's your turn to gather some firewood. You grab a wooden hammer and a sharp rock and head to the forest. The heat from the breakfast fire has faded, so you shiver slightly as you walk through the tall trees. You aren't afraid of anything. While you are alone, the forest is a safe place. If a dangerous animal dares to attack you here, it'll have to answer to the entire clan. After walking for about half an hour, you see a large tree that was struck by lightning. You didn't cause this damage. Your hammer's not strong enough to break a tree like this, but you can use it as a shelter to collect some wood. You hack at some branches and quickly gather enough fuel to bring home. With your work done, you return to the village. Your mom greets you when you arrive and asks how your foraging went. You show her the wood you collected, and she nods in approval. She's always pleased with how hard you work. Now that you're back, it's time for you to rest a bit before heading out again in the afternoon heat. You sit down beside your brother, who is sharpening a spear tip with a stone. This is his favorite chore, but you wouldn't trade places with him. You'd rather be collecting wood than jabbing a pointy stick towards your own leg. You ask your brother if he wants to race back to the forest, and he happily accepts. When the two of you were young, you would compete in races all the time. Now that you've gotten older, such contests aren't as common, so this should be a good contest. You take off running and feel the wind whip through your hair. You keep your eyes forward, focused on the trees in the distance. As you approach them, you glance at your brother, who is neck and neck with you. You can tell by the set of his shoulders that he is giving it everything he's got. You cross the line first, but only by a nose. You both laugh, feeling the joy that only a sibling rivalry can bring. Now that the afternoon heat is upon you, you know you need to stay indoors. So you and your brother head over to the communal shelter, which is made from branches and leaves. It's big enough for everyone in the clan to fit inside, but no one ever does. Everyone has their own hut made from mud and thatch, and they wouldn't dream of intruding on each other's privacy. You go to yours, where your dad is lying down and resting after completing his own chores. He looks up as you enter and motions for you to sit down next to him. He doesn't speak, but you know he wants to know what you did today. So you reenact the events of your morning, striking a dramatic pose whenever you accomplished something great, like when you gathered all of that wood or won the race against your brother. Your dad watches patiently, occasionally chuckling at your antics. Finally, you come to the part where you and your brother raced back to the shelter. Your dad looks thoughtful. As the afternoon wears on, the sky darkens and the winds pick up. You look up at the sky and notice clouds rolling in from the west. You point this out to your dad, who immediately gets up. It says time for the two of you to grab your spears and head over to the watering hole. There might be animals there to hunt, and you'd hate for another clan to get first dibs. You and your dad run through the forest, following a well-worn game trail. When you get to the watering hole, you see a herd of deer drinking from it. You take a deep breath and hide behind some tall grass. It's up to you now. You step out from behind the grass, holding your spear high, and let out a loud war cry. The deer startle at first, but quickly scatter in different directions. You could try to chase after one, but you know there's a better opportunity waiting. Around a bend in the river is a large male buffalo. He's too busy drinking to notice you sneaking closer and closer. You raise your spear above your head and throw it. It finds its mark and the buffalo collapses onto the ground. You and your dad slowly approach the buffalo, who is still alive but seriously injured. You know the right thing to do is to put the animal out of its misery, but you are scared to do it. Your dad sees this and walks up to you. He puts a hand on your shoulder and gives you a reassuring nod. Then he brings his spear down on the buffalo's neck. You close your eyes, but the sight of blood makes you open them again. Your dad looks at you, understanding the turmoil that's going on inside you. He leads you away from the carcass and tells you that you will grow more comfortable with this duty as time passes. Now that the sun is setting, you head home. You carry the buffalo meat with you and can't wait to share the news with your mom. Once you get home, you lay down on the ground and drift off to sleep. The events of the day replay in your mind. It was a normal day, yet it felt more eventful than most. Perhaps tomorrow, you'll get to practice your aim with the bow and arrow. Or maybe you'll go on a long walk with your mom while she gathers plants. One thing is for sure, though, you'll have more adventures as a prehistoric human. But how long will those adventures last? Will you live to be an old man? That depends on whether or not you can fight off the saber-toothed tiger that's been eyeing your village. Find out what happens when you click this video on the screen. Now, until then, remember, stay curious.